We all, everybody, knows someone who is in trouble with their home, at risk of losing it, trying to get a loan modification, trying to arrange a short sale. The problem has become epidemic. And because of that, there is a group that is in just great need. And this organization is called the Inland Fair Housing and Mediation Board. And we are joined by Jess Torres, who's the Assistant Director of Federal Programs. And Jess, I know that you're doing a lot of work. You're actually being sponsored here today by the City of Victorville.
Yes.
Where throughout the entire Inland Empire, Victorville is really being heard, although I know that your services are available throughout the county. But tell us a little bit about what you're doing to help people that are facing challenges keeping their home.
Well, we work very closely with the City of Victorville, and they work very closely with us in trying to help their citizens with a myriad of programs that we have. One of them being default and foreclosure counseling. We do not charge for any of our services. That's one thing we want to say, because there are so many companies out there that are actually loan modification scam companies. And we have a new program that looks into mortgage fraud and is also allowing us to go after those companies that have received monies up front from borrowers and then provided no services. So we're going to try to help these borrowers. We're going to try to help them get that money back. And we're going to try to help put these companies out of business.
Because even according to the laws now, in theory, they're not supposed to be able to do that anymore.
Well, they're not supposed to be able to charge you up front.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with charging to do a loan modification, but there's no need to charge. The very people who need to keep the money in their pocket are coming up with money to pay someone to do a loan modification, when there are numerous agencies like ours who do loan modification help throughout the county. We have done since...
At no cost.
At no cost.
Yeah.
We don't charge, and we call the lender. We do all of the paperwork. We call the lender with the client there. A lot of these loan modification scam companies, what they do is they say, I'll call them. And then they call you back and say, well, I've called and they wouldn't call me back, so we can't do anything.
But your money is gone.
Your money's gone. And so we have a responsibility to report to the federal government for the grants that we receive to do this work, a final outcome. So we're after our clients. If they don't get a hold of us in 30 days, we call them and say, what happened? Did you get your modification? What's going on?
So what's great about you is you're held accountable by the federal government that gives you the funding to do this. Whereas a lot of these scammers, once they got your money, if we help you, cool, but if not, oh well, you paid us.
And our reporting requirements are, for HUD, they are really extensive. We have to, just initially, we have to do 47 informational points on a client that comes in.
Wow.
And we want to make sure that what we do is we go through all of the paperwork and make sure that you do qualify, and we can give advice if we see that you do not qualify. Let's say someone who absolutely has no income.
Right.
They can't afford their payment, but they can't also sustain a modification payment. So we tell them, don't let your home go into foreclosure. Let's see about a short sale or a deed in lieu, something other than that. And we really have worked hard to try to establish a rapport with the lenders. It's difficult at best, but we've been doing this since...
especially when every time you call, you get someone different.
And you know what? I'll tell you a quick story. After a year of doing this, after a year of doing maybe 3,500 loan modification interviews and counseling sessions, I was reporting to HUD, and I got the supervisor up, and I said, well, now that we've been doing this and we've got these many, we've established a rapport now because we call them every day. And he told me, we never talk to the same person twice.
Yeah. So Jess, what you're doing is so important. If someone wants more information, whether they're in Victorville or anywhere in San Bernardino County, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, they can call us at our main office at 909-984-2254, and we will get them to the right department.
Jess, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.